and welcome to today's speed build. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us, and if not, then welcome back. So today we are building in the world of Coppperdale, and this feels so good to say because you guys, I've been a little bit MIA for a while. My last upload was well overdue, and I realized that this video, it took a while to come out. It was actually scheduled that I was supposed to be uploading this like 3 days ago, but I have just been like non-stop. So I finally have had time to do a video for you guys, and I'm really sorry that there has been such a delay, but I decided to try and make it up to you. And that is why we have quite a long one today. We have a big, massive family home, and I am so excited to get into this. I really am. I felt like if I'm gonna bring out another video and it's gonna be late, then it's gonna have to be a good one. It's gonna have to be a big one. And so that's what I've got for you guys here today, and I'm really excited to share this one with you. So starting off, we are, of course, as I was saying, building in the world of Coppperdale. Now you will see me tweaking around with this household just a little bit because I realised that I built it much too big, and then I realised this is actually a really big lot, which meant the house was absolutely huge. So I did kind of pull it back a little, but don't let this deceive you. This still ends up being a huge family home. It's really big. It's so spacious. There's a lot of rooms, and I really like the dynamic that I've come up with for this household, so I'm so excited to get into it. Now, the reason I decided to build in Coppperdale is because I was really feeling this really cozy family vibe, and I never build on this lot, so I wanted to build somewhere that I thought was going to feel cozy and friendly and nice and very family orientated, and I've always felt like Coppperdale is a great one for that, but I tend to stick to the smaller lots because with Coppperdale we really didn't get a massive selection, and I feel like I am hesitant to build in this lot for some reason, which I have no idea why because it's absolutely beautiful, but I decided to build here today and it ended up being absolutely perfect. I love the lighting in Coppperdale. It's something that can be a love-hate relationship for me. I feel like sometimes it's a little bit too dull for my liking, but for this home, I don't know, it just, everything was speaking to me. It felt really nice, and I'm just so excited about it. Now, you can probably tell from the title of the video, but this is not just your ordinary family home. I mean, it is to a degree, it is a family home, but if you are not aware, we actually recently, with the new expansion, businesses and hobbies, got a new job occupation, and that job is to be I want to call it an at-home daycare. So, I mean, that's not the job. The job would be a childminder, I suppose. Essentially, you can do like childminding from home, and I thought that was so cool. Like, I thought that was just amazing. So that is what this home is kind of based around. It's based around a home that's going to be great for like childminding kids, and this family has a lot of kids themselves, so I feel like they are like, perfect experience wise. They know what they're doing. Now, I do feel like the mum and the dad, like, they both do childminding, but I feel like the dad just kind of helps out the mum. I don't think that it's his full-time job. I think that he has another job that he does, and the mum, it's her main job. And this house is very kitted out with activities, with rooms, with things to do, with lots of just fun things. It's very child friendly, I suppose is the word. It's a great place for childminding. I feel like it's so good. I love the way it turned out. We've got a lot of activities in the back garden as well, which you'll end up seeing. They've got a big back garden, so I feel like it works out really nicely. They do have a garage. Now, this is a converted garage, which ends up being for their eldest son, so you will see me edit that. I was gonna say very soon, but probably not too soon. This is a very long video, but yeah, I hope that you're settled down. I hope that you have like a hot chocolate, or I mean, it's been, okay, here in Scotland, it's been so sunny and just amazing lately. I cannot get over the amazing heat that we never ever get. So if you're dealing with the same weather as us, then I hope you've got a little iced latte. I hope you've got a little snack. I hope you're chilling wherever you are in the world, wherever you're watching this. I hope you're cozy and comfy, and yeah, you're ready to listen to me ramble for probably too long. But yeah, sorry if I sound a little bit rusty, or if this voiceover seems a little bit, I don't know, like a little bit all over the place, kind of jumpy. I find that when I don't record voiceovers for a while, I kind of just go crazy with what I'm saying. There's no structure. I just keep talking and talking, and I just hope that words come out, and thankfully they do, but they just don't always make a lot of sense, so please bear with me. I hope it's not too big of an issue, but as you can see, we're starting out with the front garden for now. So you can see that I've added a few activities already. So we've got the water balloon bucket thing, and then we've also got the hopscotch, which I do end up moving, so you will see that. We've got bicycles. I end up adding a swing to the back garden. There's also some like plant pots like for the parents. There ends up being basketball courts. I believe I add a basketball hoop to the garage, and then also to the back garden as well. So if they want to play in the garage or they want to play in the back garden, then the option is there. Now you will notice in this build I kind of did a lot of tweaking and stuff. Like I came up with the house, and then I was like, oh, I don't like this, and I changed things. I even end up changing the roofing a little bit more, which you don't see me do on camera, but you will see at the end on the screenshot, so hopefully that's not an issue. But I essentially just added like another point to this house. It's kind of hard to explain, but it was just feeling a little bit flat for me. So yeah, I thought that was like a nice, I don't know, like a nice addition, I suppose. This is what I mean. I'm a little bit rusty, so I'm like, what do I say? As if I don't do this like all the time. Now, I just wanted to divert a little bit. Sorry to go off topic, but I will be uploading the next part of my Every House is a Different Shape challenge series. I guess it's both. Video very, very soon. I have been recording that and getting that all edited for you guys, and I'm so excited for you to see it. I am genuinely so excited. This is maybe my favorite one that I've done so far, so I'm really, really excited about that. But yeah, I have been very busy with like work and stuff, and it's something that I feel like I hate saying it. Actually, someone really, really lovely and meaningful to me, someone that comments on a lot of my videos, and I'm a big fan of her as well. Her name is Lunar Simmer, or Izzy, and she had left a really nice comment before, and she pretty much said like, you know, you don't need to apologize for talking about work, like it's literally like it's part of your life. And it was such a nice comment, and I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning her out of the blue. But the reason I say it is because yeah, I do always feel bad for talking about my job, and it was nice to kind of feel more I don't know, like it was normalized. It's okay to talk about your job. It is something that you deal with every day. And yeah, it's something that I don't like to talk about because I don't want to go on and on about my job and stuff. But yeah, that is the reason that I'm busy most of the time. And that's why sometimes I struggle with getting videos out. And yeah, I feel bad for it. But I just wanted to address it. I wanted to say it just in case you think that I just sometimes can't be bothered uploading. It's never that. I really wanted to get a good video out for you guys, which is why we have such a big one today. So I really hope you guys like this one. But anyway, let's stop just blabbing on about nothing and talk a little bit about the build. So in this household we have a full house. It's crazy in here. We have literally everything, almost every life stage. I think the only life stage missing is oh wait, are we including newborn? Does that count? I was gonna say the only thing missing would be a toddler, But I guess there's no newborn in this house. Well, let's go through the dynamic a little bit. So we first have mum and dad. So mum and dad live on the ground floor. We then also have some sisters, a couple of child sisters. This is a dynamic, sorry, that I always use. I love doing sisters. I just love decorating kids' rooms. It's so fun, and I have this obsession with putting 2 beds in 1 room. So yeah, there ends up being a kids' room downstairs. So that gives us 2 little girls. So that's 4 Sims. Then on the top floor, we have an infant, and it's a little infant boy. And then we have a grandparent, just a singular grandparent. We also then have on the second floor a teenager. I was thinking a girl teenager. Not that it matters, this is just kind of how I've decorated the rooms and such and who I had in mind. And then last but not least, we have the renovated garage, which ends up being for the oldest son. I'm thinking either a teenager or a young adult. And yeah, he has the renovated garage. So it's a full house. We got all 8 Sims, and keep in mind the mum is also doing childminding, so she's got a lot of kids on her hand. Like, she's got quite a few, well, small ones herself, with being the infant, and then also having like 2 younger girls. So, you know, she's got her plate full. She's also dealing with younger kids. I think that because she does have an infant, it makes it a little bit easier, because it means she's able to stay at home, look after her infant, also take care of other people's kids. And I think the dad is the person that gets the little girls ready for school in the morning. So they'll still be in like primary school. I don't know what it's called in America. Is it, I always ask this, is it elementary school? I'm gonna say elementary school, but just correct me if I am wrong, because I feel like I I very much could be. But yeah, here in the UK we call high school secondary school, but honestly I still call it high school. Like, I don't know, I think a lot of people do call it that, but yeah, it's called secondary school. But yeah, so I'm thinking the 2 younger girls, the dad helps them get ready and stuff for school, and yeah, they're in like primary, elementary. And I also think that the teenager, she is of course in high school, so she is I think that she's a bit older, so I'm thinking around 16ish, and then the young adult, I'm thinking he's about 18. So I think that the dynamic between the oldest and then also the teen, I think they have such like a close dynamic, because they like grew up together. So the oldest son and then the younger girl, I really should have gave them names just to make this easier, but because they're not like a towny home that I'm creating, or they're not for a save file, I just haven't given any of them names. But yeah, we do have the oldest son and then the teen girl, and I'm thinking that they have a very close dynamic because they are so close in age, literally 2 years apart. And then we have the 2 child Sims, and they of course are a very close dynamic as well, with them being well, yeah, literally probably like a year apart, I was thinking. And then we also have, I'm trying to think who else is in this household. We have the infant, which I think he doesn't so much have as much of a dynamic, but I think that the 2 younger girls like love to play with him. Like, I think they love like bringing him into the room, dressing him up and all that. Like they find it so fun that they're not like the youngest people in the house. And then yeah, I think that the older brother and then the older sister as well, I think that they're very protective of him, so that's pretty sweet. But yeah, it's just a really lovely family dynamic. I always get a little bit carried away with my dynamics. Like, I just come up with random things that probably aren't important, but yeah, I like to really set the scene just in case you guys ever want to play in these households. Now this house should be on the gallery, so if not, just remind me, because sometimes I'm a little bit I'm a little bit forgetful with adding things. But yeah, I've been trying to get better at it recently, so yeah, this should be on the gallery. And my gallery ID is just iHanza. I always forget if it's iHanza or iHanza YT, but it's iHanza. My Instagram handle is iHanza YT, and we had recently hit 1,000 subs on there, which was so sweet. So I just want to thank you guys, because that was so lovely. I think it's like a little bit more now, but yeah, I really appreciate it, honestly. I feel like on Instagram sometimes I can be a little bit inactive, but I try to be as active as possible. I would say I'm probably like most active on, I want to say, the community tab or the post tab of YouTube, I think it's called now. But yeah, I try to be very active on Instagram, but I'm just, sometimes I'm just lacking, which is definitely my fault. But anyways, moving on, let's talk a little bit about the garden and stuff. So as you can see, we've done a lot of it. You can see I've added the basketball hoop, I've got lots of plants going on, some seating area, we've got some bicycles. I thought they were so sweet, maybe for like the younger girls. And then we've got like a little paddling pool, which I think when the infant is a little bit older, he'll be able to you know, go in there. And because I believe toddlers can go in there. I think it is for toddlers, if I'm not mistaken. So once he's aged up, he should be able to go in there. I'm actually not sure if infants can go in pools, like the little paddling pools. You'll have to let me know. Because I am primarily a builder, there's a lot of gameplay aspects, that I don't know completely. So yeah, I love hearing from people that play the game. That sounds crazy to say. Like, I guess this is an aspect of playing the game, but I don't play the game, you know? Speaking of which, I had done a community post. I keep calling it that. I think it's just called YouTube post now, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I done one a little while ago, and I had asked you guys if you would ever want to see me do some kind of long play form videos, long play videos, like kind of long form content. So that would kind of be me doing some sort of 100 days sort of video in The Sims 4, which I thought would be really cool. I've already come up with exactly what I want to do for it. You guys had said that you really would want to see it, and that made me so excited. So that's something that I definitely want to get started on very soon, because it's going to take me a while to actually film it and, you know, do everything for it. So it's something that is definitely in the works, so I'm really excited to upload that and just see what you guys think. I'm trying to use 2025 to kind of try new things, do a little bit of trial and error, see what works, you know, and I have honestly been loving it so far. So if you guys do ever have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. I honestly love hearing from you guys. It's like my favorite thing in the world, which is why I get so sad when I miss uploads, because yeah, I literally love talking to you guys. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the inside of the house. So we've started off with the living room, and this was a very large space. I felt a little bit overwhelmed going into it at first. I was like, this is a very big space. I'm not sure how I'm going to fill this out. And then I remembered that the vibe we're going for is kind of like daycare-esque, and I decided to just split it down the middle and create two separate spaces in this living room, which I think works so well because it means that the mum or the dad is able to supervise the kids while they're playing, but then also they can sit and they can watch TV and they can do their own thing, but they're still keeping an eye on the kids and making sure that they're having a good time. I thought that was really sweet. So there's a whole little kids play area, which you've probably seen me decorate just a moment ago, and we have two little activity tables. I thought that was very important. We've got like the stuffies, the toys, we've got like a little board with some drawings on it. I thought that was so sweet. And then we also have, I think there's a little dollhouse. I used the little one from Horse Ranch. I thought that was so sweet. And then here we have the actual living space, and this living room came together so quickly and so nicely. I love this living room so much. There was a few areas in this house where I struggled, and I kind of it took a lot of tweaking and kind of getting up, coming back to it, getting up, coming back to it, until eventually I, came up with something I liked. But for this living room, I feel like it came together so fast and just so well, and yeah, I'm just so happy with it. So as you can probably see, I've went for this kind of like cream and brown color scheme. Now this does follow through the whole house, but when it comes to decorating things like kids' bedrooms or even the parents' bedrooms, the teen bedrooms, I did make sure to add color and include that because I felt like that was very important. So yeah, throughout the main household we've got our kind of neutral swatches, but yeah, all the bedrooms are very fun. I feel like it's important to add personality to Sims builds, and that's something I always try and do. I feel like a big part of my builds, which you've probably noticed, is me coming up with storylines and me coming up with who my Sims are and who lives here and what kind of vibe is going on, and like who gets along with who and what, things like that. And that is a really important thing to me. I don't know why. I guess it's not always super important, but I just love to do stuff like that. And so I like to bring across their personality as I'm building their rooms, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of what I was going for and what I was envisioning here. So we are doing the kitchen. Now I imagine this is a place where the family loves to hang out. And the reason being, I think the dad is very big on cooking. Now, I don't know if it necessarily correlates to his job. I don't know if he's a chef or anything like that, but I think he loves to cook, and I think he's amazing at cooking. I think that he's really, really good at doing like curries, and like I think he does like the best like spaghetti and meatballs, which I have been loving recently. So maybe that played a bit of a role into this. But yeah, he is just such a family dad. Like, he loves hanging out with his kids. He loves hanging about with his wife. He loves hanging around with his mum, which she lives in this household. She is the elder. I don't think I even mentioned that. I'm so sorry. But yeah, she is the elder living in this household. It is his mother. And yeah, I think that she has such a good relationship with the mum as well. I think that honestly, like, the mum and the dad, they love taking care of the dad's mother. Like, she's such a sweet little lady, and I think that she initially got him into cooking, and I think that she's a very good cook as well. But yeah, her son, he's obviously a bit younger, so he's wanting to cook for her more and let her relax and do what she wants to do, because she's retired now. She's just wanting to chill, she's just wanting to relax. And yeah, I just thought that was such a nice vibe. This kitchen, it just gives me such family vibes. I really love it. I really hope you guys like it too. I can imagine like the two girls sitting down here before school, having like a bit of breakfast, and then their dad's like, right, I gotta take you guys to school. I can imagine like the gram is like sitting on the front porch with the infant, and she's just like, I think that she's so like, what's it called, family orientated, like, but like baby obsessed. Like, she's just so happy to like have another baby in the household, because it's been quite a while since they've had a baby in the house. I mean, yeah, they're girls. They're like probably the age of like 9 and 10, so it's been a while. So she's just so excited for that. And yeah, I can just imagine the whole dynamic, the mum getting ready for the kids coming over, and yeah, I just love it. And then I imagine the teenager, she just kind of gets on with her day. She grabs a bit of toast, kind of like in the Disney movies when there's a whole like table of food ready in the morning, and then they grab like some orange juice. She's kind of like that. She just grabs a bit of toast and she goes. And then we have, of course, the young adult. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the young adult, because his dynamic I could not quite figure out. Now, I feel like with older Sims, I always prefer coming up with dynamics for older Sims, but I sometimes struggle with them a little bit more. So what I was thinking was, for the teenager girl, I think that, yeah, she's about 16. She's a really, really nice girl. I think she's got a few close friends, and she's very, I think, like, not bookwormy, but she's very intelligent. She's very book smart. She kind of knows what she wants to do in life, which I don't know what that is, but she knows what that is. And yeah, she's very into what she's into, and she kind of doesn't leave her little bubble of like friends and stuff. But for the young adult boy, who of course is in the renovated garage, I think that I was thinking a few things. So one possibility is that he could be in university, which might be a fun dynamic to play with. If you have Discover University, I feel like that would be a really, really fun one. Another one that I was thinking is that he's actually just staying in there temporarily because he is planning on moving out with his friends. And I was thinking not so much like a not so much like a university dorm or anything, but he's just planning on moving out with his friends. I think that they might be like studying similar things, and so they wanted to move in together. Again, not so much on like a uni accommodation, but just somewhere where they can all kind of live together and share a bit of rent. And yeah, so the reason he's in the garage is because he's not really got anywhere to go right now. I mean, they just had the addition of a new child, so he's had to kind of make room. And I think that he 100% like volunteered. I don't think that he got kicked out of the house or anything because of a baby. I honestly think that like his mum, like she's got the biggest soft spot for him because he's our first child, so she kind of doesn't want to see him go, and she's like, you can stay in the garage, like you can stay there as long as you want, sweetheart, but yeah, those were the two dynamics that I had, and I wasn't sure what one fit better, but if you wanted to do the university one, I think that would be cool. You could have it so that he just commutes every day. Completely up to you. These are just my suggestions, but I get a little bit carried away. I just love it. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about what I'm doing on screen. So this is the parents' bedroom. You've probably just seen me do every other room in the house. So we did the dining room, and now we've moved on to the parents' bedroom. So their bedroom was honestly a little bit tricky. I did a lot of trial and error. I was kind of struggling with swatches and color scheme, and yeah, everything just felt a little bit all over the place, but we got there eventually. So yeah, this is where the mum and dad are, and they've got a pretty cool bedroom. It's a nice size. It's a really good like shape. And yeah, they've got like a little sofa in there, and I really like the blues, the like turquoise with the navy. I just thought that was such a nice color scheme, so I thought that looked really nice. But moving on to the front entrance, so for this I was a little bit like confused on what I wanted to do. I was like, what should we do, another seating area, or what would look good? And that is what I ended up doing. I also used these really nice pictures, which are from base game, so they're like new stuff that we got some new pieces, like some new objects, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, are like themed around Pride. If I'm not wrong, please correct me if that is wrong, but I believe they seem to be kind of themed around Pride, and I really liked this like green and purple. I thought that looked so sweet, so I decided to incorporate that and put it above this little table here, which I thought looked so nice. It's got a little mirror, which I love when they add stuff like that. It's got a little shelf with the plants, and there's a little clock as well, which is always a fun addition. So it's like got so much multifunctioning purposes. And then I added these little like boho bench seating area things. What are they called? Sofas. To this area, and I do end up switching out that rug. When I'm looking at it back, I actually think it looks really sweet. I'm kind of wondering if I should have swapped it out, but I did end up switching it out just because I felt like it was a little bit too much. I don't know, it just felt a bit, when you're looking and you're like, okay, there's too much going on. That is how I looked at this room. It kind of happens when I'm struggling to decorate a space, which, by the way, happens a lot. I feel like I don't talk about it enough, but yeah, I struggle to decorate spaces a lot of the time, and sometimes they start looking crazy. And what I do is I leave and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get a snack, or I'm gonna go watch an episode of something I like, and I'm gonna come back. And I come back and I sit down and I look at it and I go, and I'm looking at it with fresh eyes, and I'm like, no, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what, me 20 minutes ago was what was going through my head, but that doesn't look right anymore. And yeah, that kind of helps me a little bit to stay on track and figure out what I'm doing. So yeah, just a little bit of advice, because I know some people struggle to build and they ask for tips and stuff. Honestly, sometimes you just need to take a step back. I feel like I sometimes, like, for example, I hadn't built in a while because I had so much going on, and I was like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do a big family home, and I feel like it came together so much better than if I was to be building all the time, because sometimes you just need that little bit of freshness for like your creativity to shine. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. But anyway, I am rambling on. Let's talk a little bit about this kid's bedroom. So this is for the two girlies, and again, I was thinking about the ages of 9 and 10, so they're very into like their activities, their fun colors, their posters, their rugs. They've got a little dollhouse and everything. I also went a bit crazy with decals, which I do think I toned back a little bit, but yeah, I had some fun ones. But yeah, I ended up moving these. Sorry, my brain is not working right now. I ended up moving these windows up. I find that yeah, whenever I do voiceovers like late at night and stuff, my brain just it turns to mush, guys. It's crazy, but I still do it. I still do it to myself because I feel like, okay, some people might prefer the kind of organized voiceovers where I'm talking about the same thing and I'm on track, and I would completely understand why. But I feel like sometimes it's nice to just have that genuine vibe and just kind of talk as it comes, So it's not like, how do I even explain what I'm talking about? It's not scripted, although none of my speed builds are scripted, but sometimes I'll have a kind of rough idea of what I'm going to say, and today was not that day. Today I just didn't have that, but that's okay. I feel like we're doing okay. I'm going to listen to this back and be like, oh no, what am I talking about? But anyway. Let's talk a little bit about the actual build. So we just finished off with the kids' bedroom. Now, I feel like I've said that like 10 times. Like, let's talk about the actual build, Hannah. You know that build that you're building? Let's talk about it. let's talk about it. But anyway, we did decide to do a little laundry space, and that is because I did this in a recent build and I loved how it looked, and it's functional. I tried it out and it seemed to function pretty well. As long as you don't clutter up too much, it seems to be okay. So yeah, I was like, why not? I mean, if you want to play with laundry day, completely up to you. I did end up adding like a little washing line and stuff just to the back garden, which you'll see in the screenshots. But yeah, I just thought that was a nice thing to include, so it is there if you want to use it. Now here is one of my favorite parts of this whole build, which is this little office space. Now, as I was saying, I'm not really completely sure what the dad does for a job. Like, it could be culinary, it might not be, I'm not too sure, but I wanted to add a desk space anyway, so the mum and dad can use this. I did think this was primarily for the mum, the dad and the grandma. I'm not too sure how technologically advanced she is, but yeah, it's there if she wants to use it. There does end up being a separate kind of office space upstairs for the younger people in the house. So yeah, I feel like that worked out pretty nicely, but I love this office space so much. It just feels so nice and warm, and I love the fresh. But yeah, I added some shelving as well, and then I believe we do the little like porch area, which it doesn't end up having too much, but I actually really like how that space ended up as well. I find this as well with my recent builds, I've been trying to branch out a little bit, just because I found there was this period of time where I was doing the same thing over and over again, and it does get repetitive, and it definitely caused a little bit of burnout at the time. Don't get me wrong, I love The Sims so much. Like, I cannot explain how much I love uploading videos. Like, this is something I do not plan on stopping. I want to do this for literally the rest of my life. But when you're doing the same thing all the time, you're gonna get burned out. So I found that I was, and the reason was literally because I was doing the same thing every time, and I ended up kind of realizing I can use different things. I can use different objects and try different things. And ever since I've done that, and ever since I've started doing new color schemes and things like that, I have felt so much happier building in The Sims. So yeah, if you're ever feeling kind of how I was, a little bit burnt out, a little bit like repetitive and stuff, just take a moment and think, okay, what can I maybe do to keep the game fresh? And I think with packs coming out, it does make it a little bit easier because it gives us new things to work with. But I will say, I do sometimes feel a little bit overwhelmed with kits. Now, I know there's another one coming out. I believe it's to do with bathrooms, which we got one to do with bathrooms, right? So, but I guess we're getting another one. I assume this one's going to include baths. Okay, that sounds crazy. On the last one we got was clutter, so of course it didn't include a bath. So I'm thinking this one's actually going to include like baths or showers or sinks and things like that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel a little bit overwhelmed. I feel like we get a lot of packs, and I am not complaining at all. I know that that is something that keeps the game fresh, but I just feel like kits, they come out like every week. That's what it feels like. Sorry. And I just want to see a game pack, you know? I just want another game pack. But anyway, that might be me speaking a little bit out of turn. I don't know if that's a big opinion or not. So definitely don't take it too too seriously. But yeah, anyway, we've moved on to the what is this called? The garage space. And this is, of course, for the oldest sim, the oldest child, shall I say. So this is for the young adult. Now, as you can see, I feel like he's very like kind of, I don't know, like he's very like, oh, I'm just gonna stay in here. I'm gonna play my darts. I'm just gonna keep to myself. I feel like he looks like he would have parties in here, you know? I don't know, it's given that vibe. He seems like he's very like minimalist, like I only need my bed and a couch and a TV. And he's got a dartboard because why not? I thought that was so cute, and it was a new item that we have with base game, so I thought that was nice as well. But yeah, I love this space so much. I really love how it turned out. I just love turning these kind of spaces into bedrooms. I think they're just so cool. But yeah, this is a really cool space. Now I do end up cluttering it up with a lot of like posters and things because I think they look so cool. You'll have to let me know what you think of this. I was so happy with how this turned out. I even added posters to like the doors, which should, if I'm not mistaken, be functional. You should be able to access them through the snowy escape door, which is like the garage door. I'm not 100% sure if it works. It wasn't something I intended on working because I've added like posters to the doors. But I think it should work if you want it to. But there is a kind of like back door as well, which I felt like would be the kind of main entrance, just because, I don't know, I feel like if you were living in a renovated garage, you probably wouldn't use the garage door to get in. I don't know, would you? Like, this is more of an American thing, or at least to me, because here in the UK, we don't so much have garages like this, or maybe we do in bigger homes. We do have garages, like we do, that is a thing that we do have. It's not like this crazy thing that we've never seen, but I don't know, I feel like they're less likely to be renovated. They are more likely just to be garages, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, anyway, completely off topic, but yeah, I just thought I would mention that just in case you were wanting to use the functionality that way. But anyway, yeah, I love this room so much. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the whole house. I think it looks incredible. I really like the way I've cluttered it up. And yeah, I always love using that high school years bed. It's an absolute favorite of mine. I know that it will be a favorite of quite a lot of Summers as well, just because it's so, I don't know, it just feels like the perfect teenage boy bed. Does that make sense? I just love it. But anyway, we're moving on. So this is the upstairs of the household, and we're starting off with the grandparents' bedroom. So this is for the grandma, and she has a really nice bedroom. I feel like it's very basic, very plain, but I honestly really like how it turned out. I find when it comes to doing adult bedrooms, so things like parents and grandparents, I tend to become less imaginative. I kind of struggle with clutter and things, and yeah, I think it's harder because you can't just fill it full of like kids posters and call it a day. So and you can't really use like all these funky colors. I mean, I suppose you can, but I don't know. It's different. And so I was really surprised because I really liked how this one turned out despite it not having too much color and yeah, being too crazy out there. I just really liked how it came out. I used this new bed. Is it a new bed? Yeah, this is the bed from Businesses and Hobbies, I believe. I love that bed. It came with some amazing swatches. I believe there is a new bed that came with the thing I was mentioning earlier, like the Pride stuff. I have not had a chance to use that yet, but there's some really cute swatches in that. But yeah, I think they have a single bed version and a double bed version, which yeah, I haven't got around to using, but they look so cute. But yeah, here we have moved on to the next bedroom. So this is for the teenage girl. You're probably waiting to see this one. So I have used this bed. Now this is from Lovestruck, and it is not a swatch that I have used yet. And when I was building this, I placed it down. And I was going to take it away. I was like, okay, no. And then I was like, do you know what? Let's try it. Let's see if we can make this work. And honestly, I'm so glad because I think it looks incredible in here. Now, I do end up changing the flooring to carpet, which I just thought worked really nicely. And I kept with this kind of pink bright vibe. I was trying to go a little bit more out there with the color scheme because I feel like this is something I do a lot. If, for example, I make the bed blue, I want to make everything blue because I'm like, oh, it matches, everything's blue. But I found that like my bedroom doesn't even look like that. My bedroom's about 200 different colors. Okay, it's not that crazy. It's mainly pink and grey, but I do have other colors like floating around. And so I tried to be a little bit more creative with it. And so there's a lot of colors going on in here, and I love how it turned out. I think it looks really sweet. It ended up to me looking like definitely teenager-esque, but also, I don't know, it has like a young, fun kind of vibe. It kind of gives me a little bit of an 80s vibe. I felt like when I was decorating this space, I felt like it gave me that vibe, and I really like it. I really like how it turned out. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. I just went a little bit crazy with it. I struggled with this corner because I was like, I can't leave this blank. I ended up adding this guitar, which I believe is also from Lovestruck. I love it so much. I had not even seen it until I went into the guitar like catalog, and I was like, this guitar is beautiful. And yeah, it's not something that I tend to add to builds, but I feel like sometimes I forget certain items exist, like pianos, guitars, like, musical instruments, things like that. So yeah, I was really psyched to add that. I love this little unit with, sorry, my throat is just not on par with me today. I added this little table with like, it's got some like makeup, we've got like a hair dryer, we've got like a little Instax kind of picture camera, that's what it's called, a camera. Yeah, I just thought that was so sweet. And then I added my typical rugs, which might be weird because we have a carpet, but when I do have a carpet in my room, but when I was younger I had rugs and I had a carpet, so I feel like it's acceptable. And now I think this is the last bedroom I do before we move on to the kind of landing area, but this is the infant's room. Now that I'm looking at it, I've realized that this bed is a toddler bed, not an infant bed. So I would say either you can change this to a toddler living here, or if you want to go with the dynamic that I've had in mind this whole time, you could just change out the bed, and then once they become a toddler, you could change it to this one. I completely just didn't think about that. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait, why did I do that? But yeah, anyway, sorry, that's completely an oversight on my behalf. But yeah, if you either replace the bed or change the life stage for the sim, I'm sure it should be completely fine. But I went for this kind of like blue and green color scheme. There's little pops of red floating about, which I thought looked so incredibly sweet, and I just love this little room so much. I feel like there's so much packed into such a small space, but it doesn't feel too cluttered. It still feels like really nice. I don't know, I really like it. I've also got the penguin TV. It really reminds me of like when I was younger, because I used to have a Bart Simpson TV, and like you would open up his head and that's where the TV was. It was really cool. I love that TV. I don't know where it is now. I mean, it's not here, so I don't know where it went. But yeah, it reminds me of that. I just think it's so sweet. And then yeah, we added some extra rugs, and yeah, just some little cute things. I did not show me decorating the upstairs bathroom. Sorry, I have not even mentioned the bathroom. There's 2 bathrooms in this build, one downstairs and one upstairs. So unfortunately, the sim living in the garage is gonna have to come inside to use the bathroom, or he can pee in a bush. It's up to you. You could definitely put a bush outside the garage if you wanted to do that. But yeah, anyway, I didn't show me decorating the top one because it is literally just a copy of the bottom one. I hope that's not a problem. But yeah, I don't know. I like it when they match, and I feel like it's a bit boring to watch me do it twice. So yeah, anyway, we have moved on to the landing. So here is the other desk space. So this is primarily used by the teenager of the household, and I thought it was such a sweet little space. I feel like she has a little bit of privacy out here because there's not really any younger Sims living up here except for the toddler / infant, but I feel like they probably are not spending a lot of time in their room anyway. So yeah, she gets a little bit of privacy up here. She can just kind of chill. And then I added this little seating area, which I wasn't too sure about. I still don't really know if I like it too much, but yeah, I really was not sure what to put up here, so that's what we have. But anyway, I have rambled on for far too long, and you're probably happy to hear we are coming to the end of today's video. So if you did enjoy this one, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, because I really appreciate it. It's free and it helps me out a lot. But thank you all so much. I want to apologize again for the infrequent uploads, but I really hope this kind of made up for it in a way, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Bye!